I told you. I told you so. Look, I've been telling you. I've been telling you for weeks and weeks, months. The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City season 4 has been their best season yet. And it's all because of Monica Garcia, if that's her real name. Reality Von Tease. And look, you know Reality Von Tease. I'm featured on their page as well because we covered Jen Shaw. I have DMs with Reality Von Tease. Oh. Nothing scandalous. They can't expose me. I'm just like I'm like Angie. I'm reacting to some of the stuff, or they're reacting, and I'm going to say there because I do believe it wasn't just Monica. Look, I'm going to have to break this recap into how I would react if this was a real situation in my own life versus what we're watching for entertainment. Because for entertainment, man. Monica carried this season on her back, and this was a plot twist we did not see coming. We thought this would just be about the whole lawsuit situation at Beauty Lab. No, Monica lied and schemed and did all kinds of things, but she carried the season on her back. And one thing I have to give Monica credit for, and I'm not sure if I should give her credit because it might be sociopathic, all of those women were coming at her. These women have been doing reality TV for the last 4 years. All of them were coming at her. They confronted her. She didn't even see this coming. And she did not break a sweat. She did not cry. And she's cried many times during the season. But Monica, Reality Von Tease Garcia, did not break a sweat. She did not break a sweat. And I was just like, oh. And even in her confessionals and that preview for the reunion, I was like, Monica is that girl. And look, there are some of you that don't like Monica. And please understand, you have a right not to like Monica. But what I'm saying is, if we did not have Monica this season, what would we have? What would we have? Take a good look. It's in a book, Reading Rainbow. I'm sorry. This season finale, and it deserves a 3-part reunion. We're going to get a 3-part reunion for the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City for those that are just coming in as we talk about this. Yes, I'm still not at home. It is what it is. But I had to talk about this damn episode because it was made available and I was like, okay, let me watch. I watched it on Peacock and I was just like, what am I watching? And again, Real Housewives of Salt Lake City editors, y'all deserve a raise because the way that you guys piece together and tell a story is tremendous. It's iconic. You guys deserve Emmys for the way that they piece together these stories and the music and superb. Shout out to the editors. But let's get into this recap. I have a lot to say. And I say that, and then who knows how this will end up, but it is what it is. Let's get into the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City Season 4 finale recap.
Baby, baby, won't you listen to me? I got that flavor. I know you're dying to feed. I ain't no dancer, just got some hip in my feet. Now throw your hands up. Ooh, you bring the lighter. I got the fuse. You make a fire. I'll add the fuel. Follow my lead. Just watch the shoes. Gotta turn the heat up to get this cool.
Welcome back to the Kempire channel, your number one source for pop culture news and music, entertainment, reality TV, and so much more. As always, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on breaking news when we go live or when we upload. And don't forget, you can take us on the go and hear our live recaps and additional episodes on the Kempire podcast. So be sure to subscribe And don't forget to give us a 5-star rating on Apple Podcasts and on Spotify. And be sure to check out some of the things that you have missed. Although I have been traveling, and yes, I am safe for those that have been concerned and reaching out. I'm still traveling. But I have been putting out content for you guys. Let me take a sip. Excuse me. All right, so let's get into this recap of the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. They start off this episode by giving us a preview of what's to come in this episode, but they don't reveal that who Heather is referring to is Monica. But by this point, we all know that she's referring to Monica. But she's leading up like, we don't know who this person is. And they're going from one person to person, so we don't really know who exactly Heather is referring to when she's talking about this. So we get that preview. Salt Lake City editors are fantastic with giving us a sort of like what's to come in the very beginning, and then we will come right back to that scene. All right. So then we have this scene with Monica and Whitney. I feel like all this other little stuff that happens in the beginning is like, do we need to even talk about this? But we will briefly. All right. So Monica and Whitney are talking. And Whitney reveals that she wanted to have a moment with Heather because I almost completely forgot, because it's the holidays and it's been a couple of weeks since we talked about Salt Lake City, that we had that situation with Whitney chasing after Heather, talking about her sexuality in her book. So she said she wanted to have a moment with Heather about it. I don't understand Heather and Whitney's relationship. Even when they have this conversation in their separate scene, I'm like, how do we go from all these little jabs to, okay, we're good? And normally we love that for our housewives, but it was kind of strange. But anyways, well, Monica then says that she was, when she was looking for when she was she asked about, where's Whitney? Lisa Barlow said that, she's probably somewhere being dramatic. Okay. All right. So then we have this scene with Heather and Monica, and not Heather and Monica, Heather and Whitney, where they discuss their issues. So Whitney goes to Heather's room to talk about their issues, and they're like, I don't want to have a problem with you. And then they talk about what was said in the book. Heather says that she read the part where Whitney's in the book. She read it to her. Whitney has not read it. There was a part that was taken out, even though Heather didn't want to take it out. There was a part that was taken out that Whitney didn't like. Here's the thing, Whitney. It feels like you are just harping on something. Look, no one's saying that you can't change your mind. No one's saying you can't change your mind, but it feels like you're reaching for a moment that just feels unnecessary at this point. I'm not saying that Heather should have mentioned it in her book, but it's not like you didn't get a heads up about it. You could easily have said, take me out of the book completely. But she's like, I feel like you were making fun of my sexuality and you were taking advantage of my sexuality. Okay. And that's a pretty big thing to say, Whitney. And I think it's irresponsible to say as well, especially when you have given her permission to put this in the book, only to later now to kind of throw her out there in the public arena and says, I feel like we were taking advantage of my sexuality. That's a big statement to say, and it feels like a reach. And I'm not saying if she didn't do her due diligence and tell you that, this is what I'm saying in the book, I read to you what's in the book. If she didn't do that, then I'd probably like, yeah, that was pretty foul of Heather to do all of that or to misrepresent what she put in the book. But she says she read it to you. But they quickly go from that scene to being like, okay, hugging it out. And I'm like, what? What are we doing? I apologize, y'all. I got like a frog in my throat. So I want to just, let me take another sip of the water. Okay. Anyways, so they had that conversation and they moved forward very quickly. And I'm glad that they did. So remember, this is the first time the Salt Lake City ladies are out of the country, and they are in Bermuda. They go on mopeds, they're riding around, then they go shopping. Heather and Angie forgot their credit cards back at the ranch, back at the hotel. So Monica offers to pay for them, and they're like, "Oh, you sure?" Monica gets declined because international. Look, even cards that I can use internationally sometimes give you a little bit of an issue. But poor Monica's probably sweating. She's like, I mean, I know I can do it, but I don't need these ladies, getting declined in front of these ladies. But she fixes it because, as you know, you'll get like a text message if you're lucky, if you have, service, a text message from your credit card company to verify that you just made a purchase. Look, I can appreciate the security thing, but it is a little nerve-wracking and a little, what's the word? Embarrassing sometimes, especially as a minority. See, white folks, y'all don't get it because you probably don't even think about these kinds of things. But the way that minorities are treated when they go into certain spaces, and like, first of all, and I know there are probably a bunch of minorities that go into places, buy something just to buy something because they're trying to prove a point to the person that's just sort of looking at them like, are you just here to look, or are you going to actually buy something? You know what I mean? And some people, look, and I'm not buying stuff just to prove a point. No, I better like what I'm buying. Literally had a situation like that here in Tokyo. And for the most part, I feel like Japanese people have been so kind. I have not felt uncomfortable at all. But I will say in certain stores that are a little high end, the energy was interesting. I'll just say that. But like I said, I feel like that's with when you go to New York City, you go to certain stores, it's the same thing too. But anyway, for the most part though, kind. I will tell you guys this story, but I will be doing a separate podcast where I'll talk more about my adventures. And this is just an example of the kindness. So I met someone here on the trip during a tour, and we went together to go look for kimonos for men. So we went to this particular place, and the woman, she makes just really like female kimonos. This woman left her shop and escorted us a few stores down to where we could find kimonos for us. That is just one of many examples of kindness that I've experienced while being here in Japan. Anyways, I've digressed. Rewinding back. So Monica's card got declined, but then she fixed it and she was able to pay for it. And they kept on showing Heather like this, overlooking her shoulder. Heather, you're a little bit of a Karen. Because why are you making that face? If you travel, you understand that sometimes things will get declined because you're traveling international. If you haven't given your credit card a heads up, sometimes even when you do give them a heads up, there's still an issue. Just to them show, and look, it could be editing, but every time she kept on looking back, why are you looking back? You came here without your money. Just saying. Anyways, I digress. All right, so then of course the editing goes in. It says an hour later, Heather gets a phone call. And we saw the preview of this phone call and we said to ourselves, what is this about? Is this about the lawsuit? We all thought that this was about the Monica lawsuit, although it wasn't completely not. That lawsuit is tied in. That whole situation is tied into this reveal. All right. So Heather gets this phone call, and look, I still feel like Heather was a little overly dramatic for the way that she was reacting. But then I had to really think about, if you think about how this troll account, Reality Von Tease, and that's the thing, Reality Von Tease, although they have reposted our stuff covering Jen Shah and things like that, I will say that there were moments that I saw with this account that I was just like, I feel like they're doing a little too much. I don't know every little thing that they did in regards to the other Housewives of Salt Lake City, but if what Heather is saying is true, that this account had said a lot of damning things about the group, finding out that this woman has been pretending to be your friend this entire time, that is a big smack in the face. And that could be take a shot every time we say dramatic in this episode, because I felt like everybody was overly dramatic. Lisa was dramatic. Meredith was dramatic. Heather was dramatic. So Heather kicking out the producers, I still didn't understand why she would kick out the producers. But fine. Maybe she wanted to get this information before she brought it to the cameras. I don't know. But the producers were like, no, we need to get this. We need to get this. So Heather basically has the same hairstylist that's friends with Monica. And I know now the hairstylist is speaking out, saying that Monica is, been doing this for a long time. She's been stalking Jen, blah, 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 whatever. So we get that hour later sign, and we see Heather get the phone call. Then we fast forward 4 hours, and we're at the Bermuda Triangle dinner. All right. So Heather has come up with this game. This is before we even know that Heather told the ladies about this Reality Von Tease troll account. So the group plays a game with the dolls, and which is so weird. So they're set to take their doll and ask a question of a particular person. So Whitney asked Lisa about her calling her dramatic. Monica had said that earlier. And that's when we had this whole montage of them saying, well, you're dramatic. You're dramatic. You're being very dramatic. Is it dramatic? So we get all of that. Whatever. Okay. Meredith then confronts Heather for not having her back during that dinner. Heather then brings it to Monica and says, Monica was very convincing. And she's like, Monica, how did you know all of this? How did you? And she's like, well, because I had the proof. And Monica's like this and this and that. Heather is just setting us up for what she's about to do in regards to revealing that Monica is this troll account. So then we flash back to before the dinner. Heather brought the ladies to the beach to reveal to them. And mind you, as they're coming, they're like, Heather looks really distraught, and everyone's like, "What's wrong? Oh my God, what's going on?" She's like, "Just come. I want to make sure everyone is here." And then she reveals that Monica is the woman behind this account, and she says, this is how she found out. Heather found out through her hairstylist, who's been her hairstylist for the last few years. So this hairstylist, Tanisha, gave her all the screenshots and receipts and audio messages from this account. Here's the thing. I kind of believe, Monica, that it was a group effort, because for Tanisha to have all of these receipts says to me, Tanisha, you somehow were in on it. And I don't think you gave that information, that part of the information, to Heather as well. And Heather, you might want to get a new hairstylist. I'm sorry, but I believe that Tanisha lied to you as well. I mean, not believe, she admitted that she lied to you. So apparently Heather had got all the receipts, but Heather, it didn't stop there, because she said, when I come to this dinner, I want to make sure I have all the facts. So apparently Heather sent some of this information to someone else to verify. So apparently that phone call that she received was that person confirming what Monica may have done, and that Monica was behind this account. Sidebar. Is it really true that, Dita Von Teese actually reposted the Reality Von Teese account and said that, this person's using my likeness? Oh, Monica, you might be in trouble. You might be in trouble. Anyways. So Heather also discovered that there were 3 Monicas in her system that had the same birthday. This is when she discovered that one of those Monicas did not pay for the lip filler and the Botox and things like that. Which, fast forward, we now have this lawsuit where Monica is now countersuing Heather. All right, saying that the fillers and Botox were janky. Okay. All right, so this is all of what Heather has gathered. All right, so she has pieced all of this together, and now she has all the proof, and she brings the ladies to the beach to let them know, and they have such a visceral reaction. They're all crying, they're emotional, like, oh my God. And look, I don't know for fact everything that Reality Von Teese posted about the other ladies. I just remember that they were on Inmate Shaw's neck every single week with something. So I I wouldn't be surprised, because even Monica says in her confessionals that, the account was mainly for Jen Shah. However, she can't help that they were collateral damage. I don't know how Monica comes back next season, even though she's friends now with Mary Cosby, but none of these ladies are going to trust her. I don't know how she comes back, but she carried the season on her back. So producers, figure it out. Ladies, figure it out. And now we understand why Heather says that she doesn't want to film with Monica ever again. I mean, I kind of get it. But the producers are not letting Monica go. The producers are going to be like, we love her. She carried the season on her back. This is probably our best season of Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. But, I mean, look, here's the other side of this. In reality, if you had someone that lied to you in this way, that infiltrated this group, infiltrated this show, because when you think about it, I don't think production knew that Monica was behind this account. So this account was trolling and just doing all kinds of things in regards to these reality shows, this reality series. And now she's auditioned and she's become a housewife. And we already knew that she worked for Inmate Shaw. But now this other part, like, I did not see this coming at all. Especially because we know how that Reality Von Tease account really dragged Jen Shah. Only for them to infiltrate the show, and now she's a full-time housewife. It's pretty damn good, though, when you think about it. She carried the season on her back. And I love the fact that like I said, it's almost sociopathic, because the fact that they were coming at her the way that they were coming at, like, no one was on her side. No one was on her side. And she just stood there and she took it, and then she defended herself and she came back at them. Oh, she's a great housewife. Oh, look, she's a great housewife. Come on now. You got to give her her due. I know some of you are like, no, I still don't see it for her. Get her off the show. Nope. They're not going to get her off the show. What a moment. What a moment. So then we fast forward to Heather confronting Monica, saying that she has proof that she's behind this account. Monica says that it's not entirely true. And they're like, explain that. What do you mean it's not entirely true that you're not behind this account? Monica reveals that there were multiple people, and she names them, but they, of course, beat them out. But she says that Tanisha was one of the people behind this account. And of course, Lisa's just like, so what exactly did you post? What exactly were you involved in? And she says anything in regards to the video footage, the behind the scenes video footage that she had of Jen Shah, she was the one that would post that stuff. She doesn't say that she posted anything about the other ladies. So who exactly posted it? My thing is though that if you're, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if you weren't the one that posted the specifics about the ladies. You knew what was being posted, and you were okay with it. You were okay with it. And so Monica says Monica lied about being in in Meredith's store. And remember when that was stolen? And Meredith says, I know that you didn't steal anything. However, you made it seem as if you had never been to my store before, when you clearly have been. Which is weird, Monica, because we all knew you worked for Jen Shah, so it would have been okay for you to have said, oh yeah, I've been here before. I came here with Jen Shah. Interesting. Meredith is all heartbroken. And remember, we all thought that Meredith was puppeteering Monica. Apparently, Monica was puppeteering everyone, including us, because that whole situation with the DM situation, she was behind that as well. And it wasn't Meredith. Oh, justice for Meredith. Okay, Meredith, we believe you now. We've all been bamboozled. Don't you all feel like you all been bamboozled by Monica? But in a good way? At least for entertainment purposes. Oh my goodness. Guys, if you're just joining us, don't forget to like the video. If you're listening to this, don't forget to give us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts and on Spotify. And don't forget, we have 2 live shows coming. January 25th, we are live here in New York City for Kempire After Dark. Tickets are still available, but are selling fast, so get your tickets while they last. And we have a Washington, D.C. show on February 16th. It's the week of Valentine's Day. So go get your tickets. Those tickets are selling even faster than New York. So thank you to all of you that have purchased your tickets. If you haven't, more information will be available in the description of the video and the episode if you're listening to this. All right. So Monica is being attacked from every which way. Meredith is attacking her. Lisa's attacking her. Whitney's sort of there. No, Whitney gets her little, things in there as well. Heather gets in there as well. And then Heather is, then Angie is in the spotlight. And Angie's responses to Reality Montees is exposed. But Monica makes it seem like Angie had some involvement. But when you look at the DMs, it's really just Angie. The people she didn't like, she would respond like, oh, yeah. Angie's very involved in the Bravo comment section. I've seen her on other Bravo accounts commenting. But I don't feel like that was incriminating. Clearly, Angie did not like some of the people on this cast, and that's what she was reacting to. But Monica made it seem like, oh, you were very much involved. And so Angie steps up like she wanted to throw a flower thing. I was like, what? Is that the Greek mafia coming out? Is this a whole other side of Angie K? And Monica's like, go worry about, what did she say, her bankruptcy or something like that? Go pay your bill. I don't remember what she was saying. She's like, we are fine. We are rich. I was like, okay. All right, then. All right. So, and Angie admits, like, yeah, I would DM, I would like things, but I was not involved. Because you saw for a second, the group was like, you're involved, Angie? Okay. But Monica reveals that this account was Tanisha's account. She says it was Tanisha's account, and there were multiple people running this account. And like I said, she says the only thing that she would post were those behind the scenes, video footage of Jen Shah and what Jen was doing. Okay. Then Heather steps up, and a lot of you have been reposting this or have seen this scene where Heather reveals, first of all, to see the unity amongst these women was pretty good. And it felt good to see the OGs unite and say, we've been through a lot. We're really friends. And they're uniting against Monica. But Heather steps up and she says, she makes this speech, and then she reveals, your behavior was all too familiar. So she's equating Monica to Jen Shah. And she admits that it was Jen Shah that gave her the black eye. And they flash back to that scene, and it's so clear, because a lot of you said the same thing. You were like, I bet it was Jen Shah. But I want to know what happened. Was it what they were saying with the whole scissoring situation, or was it something else? Well, we shall see, because in the preview for the reunion, Andy does ask her, like, how did Jen Shah, inmate Shah, give you the black eye? So in this speech, Heather says, Jen Shah is the one that gave me the black eye. And everyone was like, what? And then he flashed back to that scene, and you can tell Jen looks guilty AF. She looks guilty AF. Are we surprised? No. And the friendship between Jen Shah and Heather was weird. Yes, it was toxic. It was a toxic friendship. And I don't know why Heather put up with what she put up with when it comes to Jen Shah. I don't know if it's that whole trying to be a part of the popular crowd. I don't know. So she reveals that it was Jen Shah that hit her, that gave her the black eye. Was it an accident? Was it intentional? But she went on book tour. She did all kinds of interviews. She said during the reunion, she really downplayed, to the point where we just looked at Heather like, you're crazy. What is wrong with you? Like, what happened to your eye? Stop playing these reindeer games. She looked like a fool. But I guess Heather did not want to She did not want to make this whole situation be worse for Jen, because Jen was facing jail time. My light went out, but it is what it is, y'all. Look, the amount of technology issues that I've had while I've been traveling, and I don't know if it's the new iOS update. I think this was happening even before that. For those that are watching the video, those that are listening, you don't know what I'm talking about. But the amount of issues that I've had with technology while I'm traveling, it doesn't make sense. I come up with different ways of trying to make sure that you guys are able to get content. At some point, I'm just going to be like, I mean, there have been a couple of videos that I'm like, I'm not going to even do it. It's not working. I'm frustrating myself on vacation when I should not be. It's just annoying that you do something, you edit something, and then you just can't upload it. Like, there are little weird things that are happening with when I output videos. I don't know what it is, y'all, but it is what it is. I can't wait to be back in my studio where I don't have these types of issues, but whatever. This was still worth me taking the time out at 11 something at night here in Tokyo to talk about the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. So after Heather makes this speech, she she kicks Monica off the trip. She's like, "No, you can go." And there's a lot of back and forth that we're not getting into here between Monica and the other ladies. But I have to say, watching Monica take on all of them and not crumble, not cry, and when she's kicked off, she's just like, "All right," and she leaves. So of course, this is the season finale, and we get updates on everybody and what they're doing. And of course, they end the episode asking Monica, about this account and things like that. So Monica it's almost sociopathic. Like, Monica, this is great entertainment for people watching the show, but in reality, it's a little concerning at how you don't seem to have any empathy for what you did. But Monica makes a good point. She's just like, running a troll account is not as bad as what Jen Shah did, where she robbed elderly people of millions of dollars. And when you put it like that, I mean, perspective. Thank you, Monica, for a fantastic season. I did not see this coming. I did not see this coming at all. I feel a little bamboozled myself because, like I said before, like, Reality Von Tees used to repost a lot of our stuff. There would be DMs and things like that. Monica has DM'd me since being on the show. So it's like, but sidebar, because you remember we covered the whole All About the Tea situation. Never trust a Monica. Never trust a Monica. Now, this is why I would never do business. I would never do an interview with someone I have not seen their face. Just saying. Guys, I want to know your reaction to the latest episode, the final episode of The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, season finale for season 4. I want to know, what do you think of the preview for the reunion? It's a 3-part reunion. It looks good. We will go live to cover Real Housewives of Salt Lake City when I'm back in the studio. That way you guys can weigh in on this tremendous, iconic season of the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. If you haven't already, be sure to like the video. Be sure to subscribe. It is the subscribers only live chat, I'm sure. And if you're listening to this, don't forget to give us a 5-star rating, TheKempire, on Apple Podcasts and on Spotify. We appreciate that. And for more details on our Kempire After Dark tour, will be available in the description of the episode or the video. And as always, don't forget, you can get special content, especially when I'm traveling, by becoming a member of the channel. Shout out to our members for keeping the lights on while I'm away. Head on over to TheKempire.com/join for more details on how you can become a member of our YouTube channel. Thank you all for being here. Have a great rest of your whatever day of the week it is. I can't even keep up, y'all. Happy holidays. Happy New Year. I hope everyone is happy, healthy, and most of all, safe. We're going to get out of here, and I'll see you all in the next one. All right. Bye.
Ooh, you bring the lighter. I got the fuse. You make a fire. I'll ask you. Follow me, lead it. Just watch the shoes. cool.